Tough one for you guys. You go head to head with the number 17 team in the country and 14-14 late in the fourth quarter, but come up a little short. 28-14. Just give me your impressions on the way your team played.
I thought they played hard. They competed for all four quarters. You had a lot of new faces on the field, but overall, you were happy to see so many guys contribute that probably didn't even play for us last year, and so that part of it, you're excited about. But at the same time, you play a team like that. Even though we controlled, only had 5 penalties to their 10, we had three turnovers and they had none. And so, it's always going to be tough to beat a team like that when you put it on the ground and they don't.
What do you feel like you? Obviously, you're in the game. The two big plays at the end. I'm sure you'd like to stop, but what do you take from that game, knowing that you can go to head on the road with a fairly young team that you can build on going forward?
I think what you look at is the fact that we were able to do the things that we said we wanted to do. We were able to run the football like we want to. You had two new quarterbacks. I thought both of them, for the most part, played fairly well in that hostile environment. Defensively, we had guys that made plays, but again. I go back even to the first quarter when we go up. We take the opening drive, go down and score, and go up 7. And defense does a great job of getting a 3 and out, and we get a running into the kicker. And again, where's the momentum at if we don't do that? And what we were doing, you go up 14-0 early. Where does that put you? And then our defense does a great job again. Holding them to another 3 and out, and then we drop the punt and give them a short field. And so, you see offensively and defensively, the guys are able to play the kind of ball that we expect here at Hampton. And then you get late and you kind of start getting the heat plays a factor, and you start getting worn down a little bit. But it was just good to see that we can go in that environment. And play some great football. Just we didn't execute when we needed to, and you can't have those situations when you're playing a team like that.
Touched on using the two quarterbacks, Isaiah Freeman and Braden Davis, and Isaiah throws for 117, and obviously had the big run that set up the first touchdown on that fourth down play. Braden. Not a lot of yards, 84, but 11 for 12. So very efficient. What do those two guys bring to the table, and do you plan to kind of continue to use both of them going forward here?
I mean, right now, yes. I thought they both managed the offense well. They had a good understanding. There's still some things that we have to work out, but overall, I always tell them, the offense is going to go as long as they see you feel comfortable, and they both felt comfortable being out there. They both were able to get the offense moving, and again, but some mishaps here and there, and we kind of stalled. But it was good to see both of those guys go out and execute the way that they did, and now we just have to take this week and just kind of fix those little things that can get us over the hump.
And then we had talked about some new guys in the receiving group, and Marshawn Ferguson, Donovan Shepard, 5 catches apiece, kind of to lead the way. Were you pleased with what you got out of that position?
Yeah, Shep was here on the team last year at running back, and his role moved up because we had guys graduate, and then Ferg was on the team last year as well, and so those two guys that made plays for us offensively were both on the team last year. Both played last year. Just their roles now become are bigger now, and it's good to see that they stepped up. Sometimes your opportunity now presents itself. You don't know how they're going to handle it. And I thought both guys did a great job of stepping up in their roles and contributing to the offensive side of the ball.
Let's switch over to the defense. And as I touched on, I mean, you had held Jackson State to 14 points there until the final 6 minutes of the game. How did you feel as a group that they played?
Hard. You go back to we had too many mental errors where guys could be in a hole and weren't in the gaps like they were supposed to be, or guy didn't blitz. But overall, they played hard. Again, a lot of new faces. You only had 3 guys on the defensive side that were on the team last year that played, and so those 3 guys with Canty and Will Hicks and Cam, they played some good ball. And then the guys that were new here stepped up, and again, we just got to find the right niche, and get those guys in the right position, and we'll be fine.
Elizabeth City State on Saturday, your home opener. How much are you guys looking forward to being at home, and what would you like to see from your team on Saturday?
Of course, like Coach said earlier, you'd like to be at home and not have to travel, and everything is right here. And school just started a week ago, so just have the fans and the community here to support. That's what you're excited about. And then for us, let's go out and take care of business, as far as not turning the ball over, creating turnovers, eliminating the mistakes, and let's play our style of football and get ourselves 1-0 on Saturday.
Question for you from Trevin. Go ahead, Trevin.
Going on, Coach Trey, Virginia Powder. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. I guess starting with the quarterbacks, I'm curious. Obviously, you were saying they're both gonna continue to get run, at least for the foreseeable future. A lot of times when that's the case, you're having quarterbacks that have, I guess, they bring different things to the field for the coach. And I'm curious, from your perspective, what do they bring in, like, individually, that makes them both valuable to continue to, I guess, continue to both utilize both of them in your offense?
They both are growing in the knowledge of what we're asking them to do. I think they both have a good concept of our offense, and what we expect from that quarterback position. I do think that Isaiah just runs the ball better. And so you bring that element when you have a quarterback that's a threat to run. Now it's 11 on 11, not 10 on 11. And so you have to account for him when he's back there. And he's improving. He's throwing the ball better. He's reading the coverages better. But you add that element, and I think what you get from Davis is he does have I think a little bit more grasp of just how to read the secondary, and kind of already have a plan for, hey, this is the play, this is where he's at, and I already know. But and he has the ability to run as well. So right now, going in to week number 2, we still want to make sure that down the road, okay, where are we at? So let's get both of these guys playing early in the season, and then kind of see where we're at by the time you get to week 4 and 5.
And on that first drive, you went for it on 4th deep in your own territory. What was the thought process there? And is that the kind of, I guess, aggressiveness you want to set as a tone for it on the Pirates this season?
Yeah, I mean, we went into that game and just said, hey, we wanted to score first. We wanted to be the first one to score, and put them in a situation that, okay, they're down 7-0. And so, that was our thought process going into that game. We've always been aggressive in that area, and we just felt good about what we saw on film. And if we got to this situation, and it was short yardage, if we lined up in a certain way, we felt good about what they were going to be in. So that call for us wasn't anything more than, hey, this is what we've seen on film, and we felt comfortable that they were going to be in it. And so, we had a little fake clap to go just to confirm it, and we confirmed it and said, here we go.
You touched on it earlier, but mishaps and a couple small things are kind of what made the difference in this game. How do you clean some of those things up for Saturday's game, and just, I guess, to ensure that you guys are flowing in the game the way that you want to?
Practice. We always look at what happened in the practice. I mean, in the game, and then we make sure that those things are taught and looked over, and ran in practice. And then as a coach too, you sit in and you got to find out what are your guys good at. From game one to game two, and say, okay, sometimes you put too much on a guy, maybe he can't handle that. So, okay, how do we get the best out of him? And so it may be, hey, you cut back on some things, or you word some things differently. So, as a coach, you always are trying to find ways to make sure that, again, you keep it simple as you can for some of your guys, and let them just go play football.
Last one for me. You spoke last week about kind of using that season opener against Jackson State as a measuring stick. How do you feel about where your team is as a whole, with especially you guys were in there for the majority of the game, pretty much 4 quarters, and in the fourth quarter kind of a little bit of a collapse defensively, but overall, how do you feel about, I guess, how your team performed in this measuring stick game?
Right. You never want moral victories. But, it's, again, my biggest thing is we played 10 freshmen, 10 true freshmen in that game. You played some guys that haven't been on the team. And so to see them come together on Saturday, because you never really know, how that looks for 10 freshmen, or true freshmen to play, not redshirt freshmen, true freshmen. And so how does that look with them and guys that haven't been on the team before? How does all that gel together? And I was pleased on that part to see that those guys all gel together. And I think the future looks bright, for us down the road. But we still have work to do, and we're going to continuously grow and build and see what's the best 11 to get on the field.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck Saturday.
Appreciate you.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much for doing this with us this afternoon. Good luck on Saturday night, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great. Thank you.